Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Brinda Devi Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Brinda Devi Jaya Rinde Jaya Rinde Jaya Rinde Jaya Shri Rinde
Hare Krishna. Today is the disappearance day of Srila Lokanath Goswami, so we'll sing the prayers to the departed Vaishnavas. It's on page 78 of the songbook. Jayani lo prema dhana Koruna prachur Jayani lo prema dhana Koruna prachur Heno Prabhu kota gela Acharya Thakur. Kaha mora swarup rupa, kaha sanatan. Kaha dasa raghunatha patita pavan. Kaha mora bhata juga, kaha kaviraj. Eka kale kota gela Goranataraj. Pashane kutibo matha anale pashibo. Gauranga gunera nidhi kota gele pabo. Se sabasangira sange je koilo bilas. Se sangana paya kande narotamodas. Se sangana paya kande narotamodas. Jaya nilo premadhana karuna prachur. Heno Prabhu kota gela Acharya Thakur. Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Astottara Sata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Jamuna Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. So we'll read the translation of this song that we just sang by Narottam Das Thakur. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivasa Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. So today is the disappearance day of Lokanath Das Goswami. So we will read a verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Madhya Leela, chapter 18, text 49. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sange Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Raghunatha Bhatta Gosai Ara Lokanath Sange Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Raghunatha Bhatta Gosai Ara Lokanath. Would anyone like to? Yeah. Sange Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Raghunatha Bhatta Gosai Ara Lokanath Sange Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Raghunatha Bhatta Gosai Ara Lokanath. Sange Gopa Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Raghunatha Bhatta Gosai Ara Lokanath. Sange Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Raghunatha Bhatta Gosai Ara Lokanath. So we'll just go to the translation. When Rupa Goswami stayed at Mathura, he was accompanied by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Lokanath Das Goswami. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is probably the only time Lokanath Das Goswami is mentioned, his name. And we'll talk about that. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Lokanath Goswami was a personal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and a great devotee of the Lord. He was a resident of a village named Talakadi in the district of Yosharha, Jeshur, in Bengal. Previously, he lived in Kachanapada. His father's name was Padmanabha, and his only sibling was a younger brother named Pragalbha. Following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Lokanath went to Vrindavan to live. He established a temple named Gokulananda. Srila Narottam Das Thakur selected Lokanath Das Goswami to be his spiritual master, and Narottam Das Thakur was his only disciple. Because Lokanath Das Goswami did not want his name mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we do not often see it in this celebrated book. On the EBR Railroad, the Yashohara station is located in Bangladesh. From the railway station, one has to go by bus to the village of Sonakali, and from there to Kejura. From there, one has to walk, or during the rainy season, go by boat to the village of Talakadi. In this village, there are still descendants of Lokanath Goswami's younger brother. Oma Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshcha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamshcha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. I offer my obeisances to Maharaj and all the devotees here. Thank you for this opportunity. So grateful to be able to speak on this glorious personality, Lokanath Goswami. On these days, appearances and disappearance days of these great personalities, we have a chance to glorify them, remember them, pray to them, get their blessings. They're very much present on these days, and we can seek their blessings. So Lokanath Goswami, his pranam mantra, I just wanted to read his pranam mantra first. Srimad Radha Vinodaika Seva Sampat Samanvitam Padmanabhat Majam Shrimal Lokanatha Prabhum Bhaje. I worship the lotus feet of Srila Lokanath Prabhu, the son of Sri Padmanabha. He is a storehouse of single-minded service to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Vinod. So Srila Lokanath Goswami, in the spiritual world, he is Leela Manjari or Manjuali Manjari in Krishna Leela. And he was the eldest of all the Goswamis he was the first one, him and Bhugarba Goswami, who went to Vrindavan. And we'll talk more about this. And he told Krishnadas Kaviraj, when Krishnadas Kaviraj was asking all the devotees for blessings to write to Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said, I will give you blessings, but don't put my name in the book. And similar with Gopal Bhatta Goswami. I don't want my name. That's a sign of a very advanced devotee, that humility, that they don't want fame, recognition. They just want to be a humble servant of the servant of the servant. His father's name was Padmanabha Bhattacharya, and his mother's name was Sita Devi. He was born in what is now Bangladesh. He was just interested in family life from childhood, and at a very young age he left home. And he went to Navadvip to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this is before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He was still Nimai Pandit. But it was just very close to the time that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take sannyas. So when Lokanath Goswami saw the Lord, they had such a sweet exchange. They embraced each other. Mahaprabhu was so happy to see Lokanath Goswami. And I will just read, this is the book, Glorious Life of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. And this book, Narottam Das Thakur is a disciple of Lokanath Goswami. So this book has a lot of sweet descriptions of Lokanath Goswami too that I will read from, because it's very and also I will try to derive some lessons from these practical lessons of what we could apply in our life from these passages of Lokanath Goswami's life. So when he was a young man, Lokanath decided to renounce worldly life. So he set out to Navadvip with the hopes of living in the sweet company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So imagine, he's just like, okay, he gave up his family and he's ready to go spend time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in his mind, he's thinking, the rest of my life, I'm just going to spend with Lord Chaitanya. I'm not going to leave his company. On reaching Mahaprabhu's home, he saw the Lord sitting outside, surrounded by Murari, Gadadhar, Srivas, and other devotees. Overcome with love, Lokanath fell prostrate at the Lord's feet. The Lord, too, was filled with delight at the sight of Lokanath. Lokanath, you have come, he said, his voice choked with emotion. Mahaprabhu then lifted Lokanath from the ground and embraced him tightly to his chest. After they had spent the afternoon together, Mahaprabhu told Lokanath, you must be tired after your long walk here. Go and rest. Come again tomorrow morning and I will open my heart to you. Krishna has kindly sent you to me to fulfill a great task. Lokanath was tired, but that night he was unable to sleep. The Lord's words continued to ring in his ears. Krishna has kindly sent you to me to fulfill a great task. He could hardly bear the suspense. What could that task be? The next morning he went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord embraced him lovingly and said, Lokanath, you are very fortunate. Krishna has chosen you for a task which is dear to him. The sacred land of Lord Krishna's loving pastimes, Sri Vrindavan, is now a deserted forest. I want you to go to that holy dham and reclaim the holy places associated with Krishna's Leela. You should devote yourself to this great service. There is no need for you to stay here in Navadvip. So how do you imagine that Lokanath is feeling? He just came there all the way to spend the rest of his life in company of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the next day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sending him on a task to go to Vrindavan, to never actually get this association of the Lord again in this present life, actually. Lokanath was stunned. Hot tears sprang from his eyes, and he felt faint. Desperately, he begged with folded hands, Prabhu, I renounced the world and came here to drink the nectar of your association. I planned to spend the rest of my life with you. Now you're sending me away. Why are you being so cruel to me? What offense have I committed to receive such punishment? How can I live without you? You are the life of my life. No, Lokanath, this is not punishment, the Lord said. I am giving you the rare privilege of serving the transcendental land of Vrindavan. Don't you know how dear Vrindavan is to Krishna? He's not pleased so much by his own service as by service to his dham. Vrindavan is my heart and soul. By sending you there, I'm keeping you close to my heart. Lokanath's voice shook. Please, Prabhu, don't trick me like this. Haven't you the slightest place in your heart for me? If so, why are you pushing me away as soon as I have come? Lokanath, the Lord said softly, I'm not kicking you away. I'm sending you to Vrindavan, where staying even one day enables a person to attain the highest goal of life, Krishna Prema. Falling at Mahaprabhu's feet, Lokanath cried, "Prabhu, I have no desire to attain anything except your lotus feet." Placing his hand gently on Lokanath's head, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lovingly replied, "Just try to understand the importance of the work I want you to do. Krishna manifested Sri Vrindavan, his spiritual abode on earth, for the benefit of all souls. But Vrindavan's beauty and grandeur has become covered. I want you to recover and revive Vrindavan so it will be accessible to everyone. If you want to make me happy, start this work immediately. Remember, Lord Krishna said that all devotees are dear to him, but those who try to help others attain him are the most dear." Lokanath contemplated the Lord's words. Nothing Mahaprabhu had said about Vrindavan and its importance had persuaded him to leave the Lord's company, but his last point had struck a chord. There was only one thing that could encourage Lokanath to leave Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that was the happiness of Mahaprabhu himself. With the realization that his actions could make the Lord happy, Lokanath surrendered to the Lord's wishes. He understood that pleasing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by serving his preaching mission was more important than having the Lord's personal association. So this, when I read this, it was impactful for me. It reminded me how actually serving Krishna and his preaching mission is more dear to him than just trying to relish his personal association and presence in our life. As we know, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "Na cha tasman manusheshu kashtin me priyakritamaha," that for one who explains the supreme science to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So Krishna is so pleased when we go out of our way to try to serve him. And what is the best way to please Krishna is by trying to connect conditioned souls back to Krishna's lotus feet. So the task that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Lokanath Goswami to do was go to Vrindavan, and because it was a jungle, to find the places of, the holy places, uncover them so that people could come to Vrindavan and get revived and inspired in their spiritual lives and thus come closer to Krishna. And if we think about Srila Prabhupada's example, same thing. He's in Radha Damodar, Sri Vrindavan Dham, his old age. He could just be there happily, chanting the holy name, thinking about Krishna. But his spiritual master had given him an order to preach Krishna consciousness. Even while he was in Vrindavan, he was writing the commentaries to Srimad Bhagavatam, going to Delhi, skipping breakfast, skipping his meals so he could save some money for the train to go to Delhi. There, saving again, skipping meals to pay for the paper, then getting the manuscripts printed. Then himself, also the Back to Godhead, he was also printing Back to Godhead magazines. Then himself going into Delhi and distributing those Back to Godhead leaflets in the different places in Delhi. So this is Srila Prabhupada, who is a pure devotee of Krishna from the spiritual world, going to that extent to please the Lord. And then at the old age of 70, going across the ocean to America and preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world. So this is a similar, I found the parallel here, the Lokanath Goswami, leaving that sweet association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to follow his instructions. Srila Prabhupada leaving Vrindavan Dham to come to preach Krishna consciousness. I came across a sweet letter of Srila Prabhupada to Amoga, his disciple, in 1971, and he wrote, "I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter of December 13th, 1971, and I'm very pleased to note that you're so determined to spread this Krishna consciousness movement that you are remaining alone in Jakarta just to seize the wonderful opportunity we have got there for preaching. That is the sign of the first-class devotee, that he's always willing to sacrifice everything to please Krishna by preaching his glories, even under all sorts of difficult conditions. I'm very encouraged by your attitude of sincere Krishna consciousness. In this way, you go on perfecting your life more and more, and very soon, I promise you, you will go back to home, back to Godhead. Know it for certain." Imagine getting a letter like that from Srila Prabhupada. I promise you, you will go back home, back to Godhead. Know it for certain. So we can also know that when we serve Srila Prabhupada's mission, that Srila Prabhupada's also promising us that he will take us back home, back to Godhead. So for me, the take home from this part of Lokanath Goswami's life is to cherish the service that we have received from Guru and Krishna and put our full heart into it and not get deviated and keep focus on that service. No matter what, the ups and downs will come in life, but stay focused on whatever that service is and try our best to render it to please Guru Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then Lokanath Goswami, he went to Vrindavan. And on the way, while he was walking to Vrindavan, he was just feeling so much separation. The only thing that kind of helped him bear the separation was he had a friend who went with him. This friend was Bhugarba Goswami. He's a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit, and he accompanied Lokanath Goswami. So the two of them were best friends, and they both went to Vrindavan. They're the first Goswamis to enter Sri Vrindavan Dham. And they didn't know where anything was. Everything was just full of trees and bushes, and they couldn't find where anything was. So do you know how they discovered the holy places? This is I found this also very inspiring. Vrindavan at that time was a dense forest full of wild animals. Only a few tribal people lived there. Vrindavan had been ravaged again and again by foreign invaders. All the temples were demolished and the deities stolen or hidden in groves and ponds. There was no sign of the holy places connected with Sri Krishna's pastimes. The beauty and grandeur of Vrindavan was covered, and this highest place of pilgrimage was reduced to a mere hunting ground for Mohammedan rulers. Not knowing what else to do, when they first arrived in Vrindavan, they wandered throughout Vraja, paying obeisances again and again, sometimes crying and sometimes shouting, "Krishna, Radha, Lalite, Vishake, where are you? Please help us find the sites of your transcendental pastimes." They carried out their search undaunted, sometimes even risking their lives. If they came across the ruins of an ancient temple or the sign of a divine pond, their hearts would leap with joy. If they didn't find anything, they begged Vrinda Devi, "How long will you keep the pastime sites hidden from our view? When will you manifest Nandagram and Varshana? When will we see Shringarvat, Vamsivat, Keshigat, and Kaliyadaha?" The forest dwellers, who were busy making arrangements to secure their own safety, found it miraculous that these two young brahmacharis made absolutely no endeavor to find a place to stay, or something to eat, or to protect themselves at night. Though the Vrajavasis were completely bereft of devotion for Krishna, as they watched Lokanath and Bhugarba praying day and night, crying and calling out to the Lord, their devotional inclinations began to surface, and they began to come forward to help. Gradually, many of the Lord's pastime sites were found. So this is the way that they found the places. They're just going out, crying, like, "Krishna, please reveal. Vrinda Devi, please reveal." And then they would come across certain old ancient ruins. They would get help from the local Vrajavasis, and that's how they discovered different places of Vrindavan. And later on, Rupa and Sanatan would continue helping Lokanath Goswami with this work, and they discovered Govindaji, Gopinathji, like that, all the original deities established by Vrajanab in Vrindavan. So after spending time in Vrindavan like this, with Bhugarba Goswami, shortly afterwards, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami came to Vrindavan. But wait, before that, there's this important incident that happened. So Lokanath Goswami, while he was in Vrindavan, he heard the news that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas and shaven off his beautiful black curly hair. And he was so sad just thinking about how the Lord's beautiful hair is no longer there. And then he heard that Lord Chaitanya went to Jagannath Puri, and now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going on a South India yatra. And Lokanath Goswami said, "Oh, I need to go. I need to join him." So he walked this is like inconceivable for me. I would like to know actually how long that would take. But going from Vrindavan all the way to South India, walk by foot. So he walked all the way from there to South India, trying to find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in South India, which is almost, I don't know, impossible without, you know, how we have all this cell phones. So he's walking, just trying to find Mahaprabhu. Then he finds out Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went north and he went to Vrindavan. He's on his way to Vrindavan. So Lokanath Goswami remembered that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I will come soon to Vrindavan, don't worry. That was his consolation to Lokanath Goswami. You go there and I will come very soon. So Lokanath Goswami went running back to Vrindavan because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now going there and he's not there to receive him. And when he got to Vrindavan, what did he hear? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just left Vrindavan and had gone to Prayag. Lokanath Goswami was devastated and he said, okay, I need to go to Prayag. So he's about to go the next day to Prayag, and that night he had a dream. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to him, O Lokanath, stay in Vrindavan. I have not broken my vow. I've already come to Vrindavan and live there in another form. In this way, you shall always maintain my connection. So this part of the pastime reminded me of the point that it is not by our personal endeavor that we can attain the vision or the darshan of Krishna. We act in such a way, as Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami said, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, don't try to see Krishna, act in such a way that Krishna will see you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, just do your service in Vrindavan. I am there in another form, and by your meditation, you will feel my presence there. I'm actually there. And another thing he said is, I did this because I knew that you would not like to see me as a sannyasi with shaved head. So I arranged that you can just, in your meditation, just think of me as Navadvip Chandra, you know, Nimai Pandit, with how I look with long, curly, beautiful hair. And just stay in Vrindavan, do your service. And this reminded me of how we need to be enthusiastic in our spiritual life. And like Rupa Goswami says, utsaha nishchaya dharyat, enthusiasm, confidence, but also patience, that we need to have patience. That's not, that we, you know, we're enthusiastic to have the darshan of Krishna, to serve, to have the reciprocation with Krishna, but we're also patient knowing that it's on Krishna's terms when he wants to reveal himself to us. And it also reminded me of the story of Narada Muni, how Narada Muni, when he was in his previous life, when his mother had died when he was a little boy, he went to the forest and was meditating on Krishna, and he got a vision, darshan of the Lord, and suddenly the Lord disappeared. And again, he was trying to meditate in the same way to get that darshan again, but he couldn't. And the Lord told him that you will not have that same darshan again in this life, and that is to increase your hankering for it. And in the purport, Prabhupada says that it is not by our mechanical processes that we can oblige Krishna to appear before us. The Lord is completely independent of all obligations. He can be simply bound up by the tie of unalloyed devotion. When he pleases, being satisfied with the sincere attempt of devotional service, depending completely on the mercy of the Lord, then he may be seen out of his own accord. So, and then another point that Prabhupada makes is that the more we hanker for Krishna, the more our desire increases for Krishna, that attracts Krishna's mercy. And the more we engage in this mood of service with the hankering, that is very, very powerful. So Lord Krishna disappeared from Narada Muni to increase his hankering, that I want to see him, I want to see him. So the rest of his life, he was chanting and constantly meditating on that form of the Lord that he saw in his meditation. And in the next life, he became the celebrated pure devotee, Srila Narada Muni. So, again, sticking to our devotional service that we have been given, and despite the ups and downs that may come in it, and just waiting, being with patience, when will the Lord bestow his mercy upon me? So in this way, Lokanath Goswami, he decided to stay in Vrindavan, and shortly after that, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami came. So imagine how happy he was to see his, have company who helped him again restore all the places of holy places in Vrindavan Dham. Lokanath Goswami spent a lot of time in a place called Umaro in a, it is one of the forests of Vrindavan called, wait, I'm trying to find the, he lived on the banks of Kishori Kund. And I can't find the name of the forest of Vrindavan that was, but he was staying there and he had a desire to worship a deity of Krishna. And he just had this desire, and one day Krishna came in the form of a brahmana, and offered a deity to Lokanath Goswami and said, worship this deity. This deity's name is Radha Vinod. And suddenly the Lord disappeared, and Lokanath Goswami has this beautiful deity. If anyone has been to Jaipur, you can see this original deity of Radha Vinod. He's about this big. He's very, very beautiful. Beautiful eyes and very, very merciful. We got to go there once, and I really felt that he's very, very, very merciful, very kind. And so Lokanath Goswami, he was a little perplexed, like, how do I worship this deity? And suddenly he heard the deity talking to him and saying, I'm hungry, please feed me. And as soon as he heard that, he felt like, okay, encouraged. So he immediately arranged to prepare some meal to feed the Lord. It reminded me, Maharaj was saying yesterday that if you heard the Lord saying, feed me now, you wouldn't care about the offering time, you would just go out and get something. So this is Lokanath Maharaj's mood. Lokanath Goswami's mood is just, okay, let me take care of the deity. So he made an offering to the Lord, then he made a flower bed to put the Lord to rest, and this way he was serving the Lord. And the villagers said, can we build you a kutir? And he said, no, I don't. I'm a simple person. I don't want any residence. So he just begged some cloth, and he made a cloth bag, and he would carry this deity in this bag around his neck, or wherever he was, he would just hang the deity there, and that was the temple for the deity was a cloth bag. After some time, he went to stay in Vrindavan to spend more time with Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. And where he stayed was the place where the present Gokulananda temple is. If you've been to Vrindavan, the Gokulananda temple, you will find the samadhi of Lokanath Goswami there. And in that area with the samadhis, you'll see Lokanath Goswami samadhi, you'll see Narottam Das Thakur samadhi, who is his disciple. Then you'll see Narottam Das Thakur's, you'll see, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's samadhi, who is also a descendant of Narottam Das Thakur. You'll see Ganga Narayan Chakravarti Thakur samadhi, who's a disciple of Narottam Das. So it's a whole lineage of all the guru disciples in that samadhi area. And it's a very, very beautiful place to go and chant if you want a quiet place in Vrindavan to chant, because not many people go there. So it's a really nice place. So we know the story of how Narottam Das Thakur rendered humble service to Lokanath Goswami, hiding in the bushes, cleaning Lokanath Goswami's area where he would evacuate, and Lokanath Goswami didn't want to accept any disciples. Lokanath Goswami hiding in the Goswami's area where Goswami didn't so humble. And was rendering such humble service, he accepted Narottam as his disciple. And when Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami left, he was so sad. But he had that dream of Lord Chaitanya who said, Narottam is coming soon, and you will please give him initiation. So Lokanath Goswami had only one disciple, and that was Narottam Das Thakur. And he passed away around the year 1589. His samadhi is at the Radha Gokulananda temple. A prayer by Narottam Das Thakur to his spiritual master is, O Lokanath, O Gurudev, if you're pleased with me, please keep me in the shelter of your lotus feet and cast your merciful glance upon me. By your mercy, I can find the perfection of inner fulfillment. And by your mercy, I can someday meet Sri Chaitanya and Radha Krishna. If you're not merciful to me, then what shall I say? Please just once fulfill my heart's desire. In the three worlds of birth and death, no one is more in need of your mercy. Please give me your mercy and give me a place at your lotus feet. And we sing every day, Shri Guru Charana Padma. And in the line of, is Lokanath's name, is there, right? What is the line? Lokanath, Lokera Jivana. No, so Narottam Das Thakur wrote the song, and he's offering it to his spiritual master, Lokanath Goswami. Shri Lokanath Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai.
Purusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Kamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundaram Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Dipan Dikayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adi
Namo Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Saminiti Namade Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vachar Negini Visesha Shunyavani Matsya Jagare Satarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sade Go back to Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sade Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sade Gaura to Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sade Karma to Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sade Gaura to Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Radha Lokanath, Lokanath, Radhika. Radha Lokanath, Lokanath, Radhika. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. Radhe, 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 Radhe. Shri Radhe, Jai Om Vishnupad. Vrindavanam ki jai, Mathurdam ki jai, Goswami ki jai, Ramai ki jai, Shivani Lasi Devi ki jai, Sabir Bhakta Vrindi ki jai, Go. Sankirtanam Nam Nam Akari Bodhan Sarva Shaktish Tatrapitani Matas Maranena Kala Etadashi Tabakrita Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrishanihan Anindana Raga Trinada Pisunichena Roriva Sishtana Amanina Manajena Kirtanida Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitamba Jagadish Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishvare Bhavatad Bhakti Hridai Taki Twaye Ainanda Tanuja Pinkara Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Davavada Pankajat Stita Duli Sadhusam Vachintya Nayanam Galuda Srudareha Vadanam Gadgada Rudya Gira Pulaka Nichitam Bapukada Avanama Grahane Bhavishati Yugaitam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Vidahena Me Asli Shava Padashtumam Adarshanam Mamartam Karotava Yatadata Bhavadatu Lampato Matprananata Susa Evana Prahap. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is a life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I'm your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen to the ocean of death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so. Even he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me breaking-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shikshashtaka ki jai. Like always, there's been so much